this sensation. Oh yeah, I've been singing, I've been dreaming, I've been living, I've been dreaming since you wrapped me in this sensation.
Hey everybody, welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Tracy Sellers. I'm so glad you could join us today because we have a great show for you. And you know, we're always looking for new and exciting things that are grown here in California. And if you think you've seen everything when it comes to citrus, well, think again. We all know what an orange looks like and what a mandarin looks like, but what if you combined them? Well, then you'd have this, the sumo. With a name like that, you know it has to be big, right? Well, it is. The fruit, which is actually called a decopon in Japan, where it was first developed in the 1970s, has made its way to California thanks to the work of farmers like Mike George in the Central Valley. He saw a need to combine the best of the easy-to-peel mandarin with the sweet, juicy taste of an orange, and thus the California Sumo was born, but not without some challenges.
You know, the average citrus grove in Japan is 6/10 of an acre, and literally grandma and granddad are doing all the work by hand. And so, you know, here in California, as you know, it's a little bit more mechanized than that.
And don't let the rough exterior of the fruit fool you. While the sumo mandarin looks tough and indestructible on the outside, it's actually pretty delicate. So instead of placing all the fruit into one large bin when they harvest, as they do on most citrus farms, each and every piece of fruit here is carefully hand harvested and then placed in small totes, neck end up. From here, they go off to be cleaned and packed at a nearby tree fruit packing facility, where every step is taken to treat the fragile fruit with extra TLC.
The line here is static. You notice that the rollers are not rolling because we don't want to damage those necks. It is a lot like Shrek, you know. It's this big old ugly piece of fruit, but it's all tender inside.
And what do you call these again? You have a special name for these. When you go in the store where you see them out here, what do you call them?
My children?
Your babies. These are your babies.
Okay.
Say it like that.
Babies or children?
Yes.
My babies.
Yes, but you do feel like that, right?
I do.
Another challenge, as Mike mentioned, and as the name suggests, a sumo mandarin is big, and it has an abnormally long neck, or top knot as they call it. It's bumpy, and it's just not particularly pretty on the outside. But as they say, it's what's on the inside that really counts. It has a unique blend of acidity to sweetness, it's not too juicy, and it is super easy to peel, all of which I found out firsthand about. So, can we try one now? I haven't tried a sumo yet.
How much money you got?
Not much.
All right,
but
we'll donate this one then.
a lot of love, which is priceless.
All right, this one's going for the love then.
Okay.
Perfect sumo, maybe. Cheers.
It's the spirit.
That's pretty good. I'd say that's a 7.
See, I was going to say a 10.
Were you really?
I'm very optimistic. In addition to getting me to sample this tasty fruit, which actually wasn't that hard, Mike and other growers are relying on local retailers like Whole Foods in Fresno to get the word out about this sweet treat. And they're betting that once people try this big piece of fruit, they will have little reason not to love it.
Boy, we are ordering truckloads of them to keep up.
Another piece of fruit that's getting attention in the Central Valley and in the aptly named city of Orange Cove is over at Cecilia Packing. Here they're attempting to grow an old line Washington navel, or as they're called around here, an heirloom orange. You see, back in the 1930s, it was actually the primary orange grown here in California, and it's what gave the Golden State its reputation for having some of the best tasting citrus in the world.
We here look for niches that will continue to sell and find the best quality of oranges that we possibly can.
This area is known as the Citrus Belt because of the ideal soil and almost perfect climate of cool nights and warm days, which provide the optimum growing conditions for citrus.
You know, a nice thing about being an orange grower, it's kind of like picking watermelons. You pick them, you eat them, and then you just pick another one.
These oranges are able to reach maturity and peak sweetness, and once harvested, they're trucked over to the nearby packing shed where they're washed, sorted, and packed.
Put them in, and then this is the story that we tell about the age of the property and how it was developed and what. So it's as much we're trying to sell the story, trying to sell the Sky Valley heirlooms, but we're telling people where it came from, why, and a little bit of a story, and that you get that connection.
And from there, they're sent off to grocery stores to be enjoyed by consumers like me, who have their taste buds ready and their eyes peeled to see what citrus farmers in California have for us next.
Hello, welcome to Level 3 Kitchen. I'm Chef Ben Mattman. Today I'm going to prepare a grilled salmon with citrus and fennel salad. So first thing you want to do is get your fennel, trim off the greens, and then you're going to want to shave it nice and thin. I've got a mandolin here. So put the shaved fennel into some ice water. And we'll just let it soak in the ice water for 10 minutes. We're going to flavor up the salmon now. We've got a nice piece of king salmon, a bit of olive oil, squeeze a lemon, salt, fresh ground pepper. Onto the grill, find a nice medium heat. Salmon's nicely marked off. I'm just going to move it to a very slow part of the grill, just to pull through nice and slowly. While the salmon's resting, I'm going to finish preparing the salad. I've got some citrus here. I've got a grapefruit, an orange, and a blood orange. Just going to do some citrus segments. Looks like an orange on the outside, but it's purple inside. Now you're just going to segment the oranges and the citrus, the grapefruit, the blood oranges. I'm going to pull the shaved fennel out of the water. I'm just going to give it a little spin in the salad spinner. Add a little bit of frisee. So we're going to grab our nice piece of grilled salmon off the grill. Plate it up. I'm going to finish the salad. Add a little bit of the citrus juices, a little bit of the citrus segments as well, a little bit of olive oil, squeeze a lemon. Now we're going to plate it up. Sprinkle a little fresh dill. Here we have it, grilled king salmon with citrus salad and fresh fennel.
And if you want to make that recipe, you can. All the details are at our website, CaliforniaBountiful.com. And stay with us because there's a lot more California Bountiful still to come.
Closed captioning of California Bountiful is provided by Agriculture Liquid Fertilizers. Producing better crops with better fertilizers, it's better for California.
So farm to fork means maybe mixed greens and potatoes right now, and in a month it's going to mean asparagus, and a month after that it'll mean strawberries, and then apricots, and then peaches and nectarines, and then apples and pears will come, and then it'll be time for winter squash.
I work at Boca Nova Restaurant in Jack London Square, Oakland, California. I love cooking with simple ingredients, seasonal ingredients. I like using the right things at the right times, and I like to do 10 ingredients or less, preferably always. What we do in this business is we highlight food, and you can't highlight food unless you're using the best of what you can get. And if you can't do that, you should either try to do it or you should go do something else.
Welcome back to California Bountiful. You know, there aren't enough days in the year to visit all of the great restaurants we have here in California, but we do try and bring you some of the best that we've found, including this next one. Check it out.
I was just thinking Americana truck stop, you know, down home cooking, just like you had at grandma's house when you went up to your grandma's. Nothing pretentious about the food here. I just wanted people to have a comfortable experience when they came to the wine country. There's so many of the restaurants where we have to get a little guest seat up to go out. But I wanted to give them something comfortable to do while they were wine tasting out here. And I like the fact that we're out in kind of, I don't feel like, I know there's a lot of competition between Napa and Sonoma, but I kind of feel like we got the best of both worlds out here because I like Napa people, but I'm from Sonoma. One of the coolest parts about this place is the 50 steps from the back door to where we're planting in the yard, so it makes things pretty convenient. It's harder than you think. There's a lot of pre-planning. You have to be making your menus, you know, seasons ahead, so you know what to plant and how much to plant and how busy it's going to be at that time. So that's definitely been one of the toughest things about our farm to table experience here is just the pre-thought. We bring up the eggs every morning for breakfast. The eggs that are on the plate were harvested that morning. You know, the greens and the lettuces are harvested that morning. It's literally a farm to table experience.
Right now we're on Fremont Drive in the heart of the Carneros region in Sonoma, and we are on our way to downtown Sonoma, where there's about a 5-acre plot of land where Lazaro grows peaches, figs, peppers, everything you could possibly think of. It's turned out to be something taking care of friends and, you know, supporting families right around us here.
Tomato muy bonito.
A lot of people come up here and they're expecting that experience of going out to a fine dining restaurant, and they're not getting it here. But for the most part, people, you know, most people do get it, and they go with it. They get up and they get their own beer or Coke out of the cooler. They get their own ice water, and it's just like being at home. That's what I wanted. That's what I've always told my staff when I was a caterer. Just, you know, make your guests feel like you were greeting them into your own house. So that's kind of what I was trying to pull through here.
So I'm looking at this menu thinking, what the heck am I gonna get? Look at this thing, two-sided. So I finally went with the ham biscuit, and look at these things, corn fritters. Let's try one. Oh yeah, that is dynamite. And look at this thing. Jam, ham, and a biscuit. What more do you need in life? My God. If it's messy, it's good. That's good. This is a winner. Oh, it's a winner. And stay with us because there's a lot more food and fun coming up on California Bountiful. They're used in just about every cuisine imaginable, from a Mexican fiesta to an Asian stir-fry to the all-American barbecue. They bring smiles to everyone who eats them and tears to everyone who prepares them. They're onions. And here in the Salinas Valley are where many of them are getting their start. Think growing onions is easy? Well, think again. Get ready to peel back the many layers in the life of an onion. Over 135 countries grow onions, and here in the United States, onion consumption has risen more than 50% in the last 15 years. Whether you like your onions fresh, frozen, canned, pickled, or in dehydrated forms, this is where the first layer in the life of an onion starts, at the Gill's Onion Farm in the fertile fields of Salinas.
We grow roughly 1,500 acres of onions in the Salinas Valley for a storage program for Gill's Onions. And we currently are running anywhere from 2.5 to 3 million pounds a day through our shed. But the rounder the onion is and the firmer it is, the better quality product you're going to get. You can be assured of a good onion if you look for those things. Color of skin, the amount of skin, the roundness, the firmness, the height of the onion, that's what you're looking for.
From the fields, they are harvested, graded, and sorted. Some are put into cold storage, and some continue their life cycle to their processing facility more than 250 miles away in sunny Southern California. Welcome to Ventura County and to the Gill's Onions headquarters, the largest year-round grower and processor of fresh-cut onions.
Our motto here at Gill's Onions is, if you're still cutting your own onions, it's a crying shame. Well, Gill's Onions started in about 1983, I think it was. It's almost 25 years ago, and started peeling onions for our first customer, La Victoria, and we started with growing peppers for La Victoria, and they wanted to go from dehydrated onions to fresh cut onions. They were using some, but they didn't have a good supply, so we thought we could get in and do that.
Today, the folks at Gill's peel and cut more than 5,000 truckloads of onions a year at their state-of-the-art facility in Oxnard. Family owned and operated, Gill's Onions is ensuring that business is around for future generations to enjoy as well, by becoming an innovator of several environmental programs. Today, the company has become a pioneer in energy efficiency, water conservation, packaging, recycling, waste prevention, and efficient land usage.
Well, sustainability is part of our company's mission or policy for making sure that we're good stewards of the world. in what we do. You know, we don't waste anything. We recycle as many products as we can through the facility that we use.
But being the nation's largest producer of fresh, whole, peeled, diced, and pureed onions, and doing it all under one roof, does have a slight downside. Something that brings a tear to your eye the moment you step in the building and encounter all of those onions.
I've seen people literally run out the door because they can't take it. I had another facility before we moved here. He ran out, almost got run over in the street.
Tears and all, this is how many of us enjoy the last layer in the life of an onion, at the dinner table. Believe it or not, the average American eats about 18 pounds of onions a year. And at Basil's by the Lake, located at the Radisson Hotel in Sacramento, the possibilities are endless for one of our favorite vegetables. From sauces to soups to marinades, Chef Scott LaCrosse has become a big fan of them over the years, and for good reason.
Onions are very large. They consist of about 60% of the menu has some kind of onion in it, either in the recipe or in its raw form or cooked form.
Here, onions have become the flavor-based backbone of Scott's culinary repertoire. In most cases, they add just a little kick of flavor without a lot of fat. Depending on the variety, an onion can be sharp and spicy or mild and sweet. Onions aren't an afterthought, they're a necessity.
Well, we caramelize them up, we put them into salsas, we roast them for different dishes, add them as flavoring to stocks, seafood bases, all sorts of different products.
Well, this is a popular dish for us. We top a lot of steaks with them, we caramelize them up. This would be the fried onion here. We're just going to take a little seasoned flour mixture, toss them up in the seasoned flour, and then get them coated really well.
But with onions, the number one question of any chef is, how do you not shed a tear when working with them on a daily basis?
Well, if you're wanting to try and not cry, I would work with them in more of their cold state. So right out of the walk-ins, and with a sharp utensil is the best way. So a nice good sharp knife if you're cutting them up.
And here's one more tip for working with onions. You can always just carry around a box of Kleenex, like this fearless and teary-eyed reporter did. But as any onion aficionado will tell you, the tears are well worth it. And don't leave us just yet. There's more California Bountiful coming right up.
Hi, my name's Jonathan Rollo, and I'm coming at you from Greenleaf Century City. We're in the middle of our lunch hour, and I wanted to show you how I make one of our really great, healthy, quick breakfast items. It's our parfait. So I'm going to start with our non-fat Greek yogurt and add a little layer in there. This is something that you can really easily do at home, for the kids, for yourself. And then I'm going to add a layer of our blueberry compote. Now this is something we make here, and it's not that difficult. All you need to do is boil down frozen blueberries. Fresh I prefer, but I know that a lot of people have trouble accessing those year round. So give that about 20 minutes on the stove, and it'll turn into a nice reduced blueberry jam. I'm going to use some of our homemade high protein, low fat granola. This is puffed rice, gamut, oats, and we toss it in a little bit of agave and a little bit of cinnamon, roasted in the oven nice and slow for a long time, and that creates this great crunchy, sweet, almost candy that is just decadent but not too fattening. I'm gonna make one more layer out of this. And this is something that everyone can enjoy. It's a good year-round treat. Nice and filling, but not fattening. And the rest of the granola goes on top. Just like that. And I can take this with me around all day, eat it wherever, however, and I love our really healthy breakfast parfait.
Well, that is going to do it for the show today. 30 minutes goes by fast when you're having fun, right? Well, if you want more information about any of the stories you've seen or the recipes that we had on the show today, you could check it all out at our website, californiabountiful.com. And if you get a moment, check out our Facebook site. Give us a like, let us know what you like about the show or what you'd like to see. We'd love to hear from you guys, so check that out if you get a second. And we'll see you again next week on California Bountiful. Have a great week, everybody.
Down my spine again.